I've gone through the highs and lows. Some highs have been really nice, and the lows have been as low as being on the deathbed for multiple times, and one being during the COVID as well. And probably I wear the badge with pride, saying that I'm a mucormycosis survivor. People don't realize the worth of one until they lose the other. And the more you accept the fact that this is what my life is going to be, it's all about one simple acceptance. God has decided this is what my life is all about. It hasn't been an easy ride, let me be very honest. Probably the way that I speak might look like, okay, it's not difficult, but it comes with a lot of difficulties. I've fought with a US consulate before I could make it to the typical American dream of going there and working. To get my car license, it wasn't easy. As simple as even getting a SIM card now. It has come to a state where they've told me that unfortunately we can't give you a SIM card because you can't remove your specs. And to take a photograph, you need to remove your specs. And if I remove my specs, they can't take a photograph because the so-called AI has made their life so miserable that it won't accept the fact that I'm a human. In their definition, human is 2i.
Oh my God.
But welcome to the reality. This is how I am. This is what I am. A message that I can probably keep telling people again and again, that you can still see a light at the end of the tunnel. You just need to have that hope, and you wish to do something bigger and better, and that hope will definitely turn into a positive thing.
The first time I met Krithi, I went back to the side of my bed and I cried for almost 30 minutes. I made a call to my best friend to just talk about not the sadness that I experienced, but I experienced miracle. Krithi is one individual who I have met and have felt that miracles do happen. He's a man who's not just understood resilience through theory. Life gave him a huge challenge. He accepted it with complete grace and have been sharing his resilience stories through TED Talks and so many other inspiring conversations across the country. Today, I am so honored to have Krithi on Office Tales and People podcast, and we both are exploring a topic that a lot of us are exploring, the Gen Z and their methods to choose their careers and jobs. Welcome, Krithi, on Office Tales and People podcast. I am so excited to have you with me. And let me tell you, you're not just inspiration to all the people who may have heard you through your TED Talks. You have literally changed me. You have made me believe that miracles happen. Of course, I'm going to talk a little bit about that part of your journey at the end of podcast. But I just wanted to thank you for being you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. And to everyone who's going to be seeing this podcast, happy day. My name is Krithivasan. I'm an accidental HR. I never knew what HR meant, except for the fact that one fine day, one call, and I was asked, would you be interested to do some volunteering work? And I said, yes, I'll do it. And that one phone call and one instance of visiting a campus made me not just move from an introvert to an extrovert, but change my passion from becoming a law student to pursuing something into the HR, and then eventually start my career over there, and I've built my career. Uh, yes, I've gone through the highs and lows. Some highs have been really nice, and the lows have been as low as being on the deathbed for multiple times, and one being during the COVID as well. And probably I wear the badge with pride, saying that I'm a mucormycosis survivor. So that's something that I take it with a pride, and probably that's a message that I can probably keep telling people again and again, that how uh, you can still see a light at the end of the tunnel. Don't think that, okay, fine, it's all dull, that's it, it's gone, it's dark. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. You just need to have that hope, and you wish to do something bigger and better, and that hope will definitely turn into a positive thing.
Thank you, Kriti, for saying that. I want to start by asking you on a specific topic that you and I are exploring today about Gen Z and their styles and their methods of choosing their jobs and their careers and their overall professional styles. So, let me start with the first question. A lot of people say the statement that Gen Z is picking up or choosing money over learning. How true is that statement according to you?
Uh, to me, if you ask me, it is true. They choose money because today we live in a world, especially for Gen Zs. For them, it is all about instant gratification. So if you ask them to invest something, saying that, hey, there is a 2 day seminar or a big conference, you go there, you attend, you will learn a lot of things, they'll be like, no, that's not my cup of tea. I don't want to waste my time all over there. But if given an opportunity, if they know that tomorrow there's going to be something instant that's going to happen, and for that today they have to sharpen their skills, if that means that they have to quickly catch up with the tools that are available, they're still ready to do it. But when they know that there is an instant gratification right around the corner, and if you tell them that go attend this conference, do this program, do this, all that, they will probably just move it away. They don't want to invest such kind of a time and energy right now. That's the era that they have actually probably moved into. And more often, I see people now that when they are completing their graduation, they feel that they've already come to the end of their learning. And they know, okay, I don't have to go back to the classroom, I don't have to do anything. But unfortunately, little are they aware of the fact that the day when they realize that, or rather, the day when they say the statement that my learning has come to an end, I'm going to start working, that's the last day of their life at all, because learning never stops and should never stop. You will never grow if you stop learning.
Can I ask you your opinion on, is it that greed is driving them, or is it something deeper that's missing?
See, end of the day, they have their own bills to pay. The bills won't wait for them until they make some money. So, if you ask me, it is not exactly greed as such, but to an extent, if the company starts prioritizing saying that I need to make some profits, if that means that I have to do some layoff, then what will they do? They will also have problem. Today, unfortunately, they don't have a support system in terms of the government supporting if someone has been laid off and all those things. So for them, it's not all about greed, but they need that cushion. They need to make sure that, yes, my things are taken care of. So probably because of that, also they want to lean towards the money side and not go full on, or unless they have some big backing that they can be assured that everything is taken. I don't have to really worry about it. I mean, I don't live by my paycheck. Unfortunately, most of the population today, they live by the paycheck. It's more of a hand to mouth situation. So when you're in that hand to mouth situation, then it's bound to happen.
So, in our parents' generation, what do you think was different than what is it today? When our parents were earning, at that time also, they were earning very humble and they were still running full families and they didn't had really big cushion. What has changed according to you?
What has changed, in my opinion, back then, if I have to compare my own family and my relations and known fraternity, for them, it was more of lesser opportunities. So, because of that, they are forced to stay there. And at the same time, since the opportunities were also less, the demand and supply situation has always been somewhat taken care of, and because of which, uh, job security was always there. And at the same time, they have to run the family. That's why, if I also look at my family, my dad stayed there for in the same bank for little less than 40 years. My mom stayed in the same school for 30 years. My uncle, my aunt, everybody. Opportunities were also less. But today, opportunities are so high, requirements are so high, we still don't have so many people to cater to the demand. And at the same time, most of the requirements that we have today is like you find an opportunity in the morning, you get placed in the afternoon. If you're skilled enough, if you have that skill, then you can easily make it today. There's so many opportunities, especially the gig economy. You can do wonders.
So, is it safe to say that today's Gen Z is well aware of their market value?
Yes, they are well aware because they know what's happening, and thanks to the social media, everything is public now. Nothing is private, including their own life. And they themselves make it public. They want to make it public. And if you don't post anything, they get into that phobia of, okay, fear of missing out. The FOMO hits them so hard that they have to post anything and everything. And that means every other information, like my neighbor's son got a package of this, he got a package of that, everything. So they are well aware of, okay, this company pays this much, this role is in demand, they pay this. So they are very well aware. But the question again goes back to, while they are aware, are they skilled enough to get that? They always put a price tag to themselves without even realizing the fact whether am I skilled enough to actually ask for that particular price tag.
So, there is this term called loyalty towards organization that we heard a lot when we were younger and we were seeing our parents working. Do you think that particular concept is now redundant?
To put it very simple, we have been hearing about a lot of layoffs. But the result of layoffs is all about to take care of the profits. If the company, in the interest of their profits, if they're doing layoffs, why should then employees look at the loyalty towards the company?
Absolutely. So, is there a huge lesson here for the promoters and the leaders to understand the value of loyalty both ways?
Absolutely, yes. But loyalty is not something to me. Loyalty is not about showing up at office on time, being there, picking up the call in the first ring. And that is not loyalty. Loyalty is I have also worked on a weekend. I have worked on festivals. I've given up that. I've given up that. No, loyalty is all about when a situation arises, was he the person who was there standing in front to fight it out, to ensure that he has been there during troublesome times? And loyalty is not about being there for a longer period, for 20 years, 25 years. To me, that is not loyalty. Loyalty is my company has invested in me, so it's my duty to ensure that I be there when I need to solve a problem. And I be there when the company is going through a trouble time. I'm the first person to come back and say that, why don't we look at this solution? This can help us. Or try getting their hands dirty rather than running away from the problem, saying that I don't want to put my 20-year career at stake. If I do something and if it, something goes wrong, I cannot take my bet. Instead, if that person start putting a bet in front and take that risk, even if he fails, at least the company knows that, hey, he has been very loyal to us, and that's a reason he knew that the company will have his back if something goes wrong. To me, that is what loyalty is all about.
Coming back to something very recently that happened with me, I was conducting a training program in a very young environment. All the participants were below 30 years of age. Kriti, I must tell you, it was so hard to call them to the training room for the HR that it took 30 minutes. In spite that all the participants were well aware of the training session that was coming up, nobody stood up and HR was literally begging to, come and join and the time is starting. What do you think HRs need to do when it comes to attracting Gen Z for training programs?
Simple words, you'll have to create something called TikTok for work. Something which is more of your 5 minute, 10-minute capsule, quickly, where they can easily learn at ease. You'll have to give them the way that they will understand better.
So you say that you would agree that it has to be more engaging, it has to be more artsy, it has to be more creative, it has to be more Gen Z friendly.
It has to be creative right from C to the E. It cannot be just by the design or anything, but it has to be because Gen Z's expectations are way too different. They don't fit into any of even the millennial terms. So the way that we are going to engage with them has to be absolutely different.
Right.
And we got to be very creative with them, and we got to go the way that will make them, the pull factor should always be there.
So, Kriti, I also want to ask you that when we are talking about learning programs, a lot of times organizations are focusing on designing learning programs for the rest of the company and leaving the leaders out. They themselves are not investing in their own training or upskilling. What's your experience in this particular
The
aspect?
boss is always right, and the boss, the more they feel that, hey, I've graduated 20 years back, I was a HOD when you were still studying, the more they keep that mode on, it's going to be very difficult. As simple as a boss calling into a meeting and asking everybody to, hey, you'll have to upskill in A, is going to kill the word and all those things. But end of it, he fails to even not be able to share his own screen during the Zoom call. That shows that how much he has invested in his learning. Someone who struggles to share his screen in a Zoom call is talking about, guys, you will have to upskill yourself in AI. They're gone. So it's absolutely important, and it starts from top down. Learning anything and everything is a top down approach. When you start at the top and when you say that I have learned this skill, I really enjoyed, people will start looking up to you. People will start, oh, if my boss can do it, if he can do it at the age of this, why not me? At 40 he's doing it, at 45 he's doing it, at 50 he's doing it. Then why not me? Why can't I do it? He has a family to run. He has kids to get ready. I don't have anything. I'm not even married. So, what is stopping me from actually sharpening my axe?
So, Kriti, what I have experienced by running learning and development company since 2010, that a lot of companies are not really investing in learning, especially promoter-driven companies that I've seen. Like there are companies with 1,000 crore turnover, 2,500 crore turnover, but their learning budgets are 5 lakhs, 2 lakhs. Now, how and why and what should be done when it comes to promoter driven companies?
To me, it all boils down to, while it can be a promoter driven, it can even be any other company for that matter. Uh, but the core element is, who's the custodian of all these initiatives and the programs. Invariably, it boils down to the HR team. If the HR team is equally equipped enough, and if they are being led by the right person, and if they know that investing in a resource will always pay you off some way or the other, that's the school of belief that I come from. So it's all about, if that person is able to convince the management and the board, stating that, see, whatever the money is, let it be 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs or whatever the money, this money, whatever that you do today, you're going to get a compound interest. You're going to see, don't look for instant results. More often, people look for, okay, will it show off in my reports in terms of X number of sales or X number of productivity and all those things. There are certain things where it's more like your bamboo tree. You keep uh, putting water on top of it, continue to do it, but it takes, over time you see results. It's all about how we are able to present that to the management, and if that person can actually make a difference, then yes. Because as a promoter, they have so many other priorities, so asking them to prioritize even learning, I would say, it need not be at the promoter's hand. It needs to be on the HR side, and the HR should drive it and should make sure that it
But do
happens.
you think HR do get that agency? to lead initiatives and bring that change that organization definitely deserves.
Absolutely. Today, there are so many people out there. There are so many institutions available. There are so many avenues through which we can do it. As simple as we can even start from. To me, if you ask me, there are people inside your organization who might be good at certain things, right? We can start with small little initiatives there. Someone is really good in Excel, might be an MIS person, someone who knows how to play around with Excel, he can start that training. Those are small little things, and then we can continue to add on, because somewhere, rather than starting big bang, we try with small little initiatives, and then we find out where it is, and then you double tap and then go forward.
I have a very important question for all those leaders who are not able to influence their promoters. What is your suggestion to those leaders who do not have the courage to go and get approvals done for building the culture, for building that learning and development culture in the organization? What suggestions do you have for the leaders who are yet to, you know, step up and have that courage to speak up?
They really need to start looking at, have they really invested in the right person for this job then? It boils down to whether this person has been able to actually convey. Because HR is not just about, or in the age old terms, we used to talk about holy rangoli. HR is not holy rangoli. There's a lot more. It starts from culture to transformation to the performance dialogues to everything. So it's all about testing whether is that team, is that person whoever is leading is capable enough or not.
Capability could be there, but courage would be something that a lot of us lack a lot of times, right?
Yes, it probably because of that person's past also, right? But if they know that the management is supportive, then what is stopping them from going and asking? They
And
just
what
need
if
to
the
fight it
management
out.
is not supportive?
He needs to change the way. So it's like,
And what if it's a she?
still, see, if I have to take a very simple example, when you have to deliver a medicine to the kid, when you know that if you give it directly, the kid might not accept, you do some creative ways, you do some different ways to ensure that the medicine gets passed on to the kid, right? Similar thing, you'll have to do it. Some way you will go direct approach, some way you'll have to induce through different other initiatives. You'll have to make them understand, you will have to show them there are some benefits, and there are so many case studies available, right? You can always pick up those cases and present those cases stating that, look at this, they've invested, this is what they did. You have a pre and post coverage as well. Everything is available online these days. You can always pick up those stories and then use it.
Okay, so I'll come up to the last two questions. The first one being, if you were 23 and you were Gen Z today, how and what you would do about choosing money over learning or money learning together? What would be your choice and how would you do this?
I would look at it as a coin where it has both sides, money and learning. It's more like a stock trading. I will invest, I will learn, I will learn through my mistakes, and when I do it again, I'm going to gain a lot. And at the same time, for me, back then I never had the resources or anything. I mean, mobile phone was just picking up, internet was not there. It was more of calls, SMS, and all those things when I started my career. But today, the amount of information that you have in your hand, you can do wonders. I will invest more on how can I use those uh, for for my own upskilling to ensure that I'm up in the race. If it took 18 years for me to become a CHRO, probably I'll look at how can I make it in less than say about 10-12 years.
Last but the most important question, that you have gone through something absolutely unheard of. And I know your story. You have lost an eye in black fungus fiasco, and I just want you to share how can people understand what resilience really means.
To me, it all happened if you ask me, it wasn't a statement in the dictionary that I picked up, or uh, people told me that this is what it is, or something that people have told me inside the classroom. It all started when I realized that when I was told that it's going to take this much time, you can't do this, it's going to be difficult, but that's okay. I wanted to push. I started giving that push. The person that I used to be in the past was a different person altogether. That's what my old friends and my old colleagues used to say. Versus after this episode, when I started giving a push, saying that, hey, if they say that it takes its own time, why not fight it out? When you fight it out, when you give up your heart and soul, the dedication matters a lot. And when you do that, the results are something really brilliant.
Kriti, losing an eye makes you feel absolutely negative. You stop trusting life a lot of times. How did you fought that?
When I first opened my eye, uh, I somehow felt that I can still see 70% of what I can. See, people don't realize the worth of one unless until they lose the other. So it's like many a times what we do is we try to close our eye like this. So when you close like this to see, can I see through one eye? That's not how it is. When you try to do this, you're actually objecting a little more. But when you actually just close your eye without using your hand, you will notice that you have, as against a 180-degree view, you have a good 120 plus degree view. So the minute you realize that, and the more you accept the fact that this is what my life is going to be, it's all about one simple acceptance. Yes, God has decided this is what my life is all about. Now, should I be crying for the next 40, 50 years of my life? Or be happy that the initial 30 years I was able to see 180 degrees? The next 50 years, what can I do with this 130 degree but something more beautiful? That is what I used to think, and I continue to live with it. So it hasn't been an easy ride. Let me be very honest. Probably the way that I speak might look like okay, it's not difficult, but it comes with a lot of difficulties. I've fought with a US consulate before I could make it to my the US, the typical American dream of going there and working. To get my car license, it wasn't easy. Uh, as simple as even getting a SIM card now. It has come to a state where they've told me that unfortunately we can't give you a SIM card because you can't remove your specs. And to take a photograph, you need to remove your specs. And if I remove my specs, they can't take a photograph because the so-called AI has made their life so miserable that it won't accept the fact that I'm a human.
Oh my God.
In their definition, human is 2i.
Oh my God.
But welcome to the reality. This is how I am. This is what I am.
And
And
facing all these difficulties, the resilience that you have built is an inspiration to me, to everybody who you talk to, and the lives that you're touching every day. Thank you so much, Kriti, for coming on Office Tales and People podcast. I really, really enjoyed knowing you, talking to you, and taking this story to my audience.
I I should thank you for this opportunity that I can continue to share a little more messaging, and I can keep passing what I could, if not be an inspiration, at least some message with a hope that hey, life doesn't end. Just because you failed an exam doesn't mean that you're going to. If you're not going to lose your life today just because you failed an exam, why to worry about it? That's okay. Everything has a reason. If God has shut one door, that means He's going to open a bigger door for you. That is all life is all about. So, thank you so much for having me as well. And
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching Office Tales and People podcast with Kriti. If you are a leader who's dealing with Gen Z, or if you yourself are a Gen Z, you must share this episode with your peers, with your friends at work, and do not forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you.